Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is time. It's the grand finals of the EU HCS Pro League Summer Finals. Two teams left in this one. It will be Fabi versus Xmen. And of course, we have the cream of EU Halo talent to break this one down. But before I let them come onto screen, I think it's important we have a look at these two teams and find out who they really are.
Winning means everything. We're the most practiced team, we're putting in the most effort, and just in general we want it more. We've got the best player in Europe. I don't want to be blowing any heads out of proportion here, but I don't know, I'll have to say my teammate 2Foxy is alright, I guess.
What sets our team apart from the others is we have 4 of the 5 best players in Europe individually on one team. I feel other teams just can't keep up with the individual talent that this roster has, and I think that is a defining factor in why they are so dominant.
Winning means everything to myself and my team. This is the main reason we play this game. Being titled the best European team means absolutely, it means everything to all of us. It's the reason we put all this time in leading up to it, and yeah, we're buzzing to show what we're made of. The biggest rivals this weekend on paper will always be us and Fab Esports, mainly due to the fact that 2Foxy left us to go join them, and we're going to prove to him that he's made the biggest mistake of his career.
I'm a lot more confident than I thought I'd be with the fact that these players always want to turn up. I've never seen people that want to turn up more when it actually matters.
Welcome to the arena, Fab E and Xmen.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are at long last. This is the HCS European Pro League Summer Final between Fabi and Xmen. Playing for our prize pool and this incredible trophy, and that thing nobody will ever take away from you, that title of being the very first HCS Pro League champion. Gentlemen, we are looking forward to an incredible series. Take your places. We will have a chat with Respectful and Jimbo. Here we are, HCS Pro League, the finals day. Here we go. It's been an amazing day. We've had an incredible crowd who are still here with us at ESL Studio One, including, I'm going to point out, Infused and Vibe, who are still here and are giving us some great action today as well. Now we are looking at you guys. Let's start with you. 4-0, 4-0, undefeated, rocking up through the season, not lost anything to any of these teams. You'd started the day a bit like this. You're just going to take this thing away. How are you feeling? This is it now.
Yeah, like I said, I'm really confident in my ability and my teammates. We've just proved why we belong here. We've played the most, we've practiced the most, like I said before. Said to Sims as well, the fire's fueled now. After what happened to me and Mose at EMEA, we're just non-stop grinding, so we're going to prove that we can win it again.
And you guys, we went down 4-0 to them a little while ago. I know we've already talked about this. How have you guys got yourselves together to think, right, we can't have that again and we're going to do it differently?
First, we're just going in from where we played against Vibe. We're going to do that. We're going to continue to do that. I don't think any pressure's really on us at this point. These guys are the top team right now. They're the ones that are in this really realistically should win it. So I think if we take a map of them, I feel like we can actually just full on steamroll them. I think the pressure's more on them than it is on us.
Would you agree with that? Would you say pressure's more on you?
Not really, no. Not with us winning 2 4-0s and they've got to win a best of 7 twice. So, I mean, I think they might be a bit tired out, but we'll see what happens.
You have this undefeated record against all of these teams that we've seen today. Does that matter to you? Do you want to win this thing and keep that and do this 4-0?
Like I say, I'm just taking every game as it comes, like game 1, game 2. It doesn't really matter to me about losing a map or 2. It's just at the end, if we win or not. That's just literally it.
You sound, Jimbo, like if you think you can get to that map early, then it can all turn your way. But you're also a bit cagey about this is going to happen. You had an interesting record during the season. Every week, all the teams played 2 games. Every week, you won 1 match and you lost 1 match every week of the season. Today, you've got a win and a loss and a win. Time to get the big W, yes?
Yeah, every week we did get the first game, we always got the win, so on each week. So say we went 1-1 next week, we got that win. I feel like we can continue that, where we win, well, okay, kind of ruined that then because we lost and then won. Whoops. No, we're going for the win. We'll get the win.
Of course you are, of course you are. And you guys still feel like you can do this, yeah? I'm looking at all of you now, I'm seeing a lot of nods. You guys know what it's like, big stage. HWC, you've been in these sort of things before?
Yeah, obviously me and Mike play some top 8 at Worlds. We're used to this, winning Gfinity, and they won EMA, Chalky and Rami, and Javi as well. So we all know what it takes to win. We've multiple titles between us. For them, they've only got one person who's really actually won a title. So I think that's one thing we can go off, and that's one thing that's another bit of pressure for them. But yeah, we're feeling confident.
Of course, you guys now, you know what LAN is like. Here we are, and it's about time you won one. This is going to be it.
Well, it's about time, that's all I'm going to say. Enough said there.
Well, indeed, it is about time. I will keep you from this no longer. I'll keep you from this no longer as well. Gentlemen, let's have a good handshake. And we are expecting an absolutely fantastic series. Is it going to be another 4-0? Either way, or we're expecting a great big final to this absolutely fantastic Halo Pro League season. Well, we've got some tremendous guys on set and Wonderboy together with Bryce who are going to look at how this series is going to shape up. And then we will get stuck into this to win our prize pool, this trophy and the title of the HCS European Pro League champion.
Well, thank you very much. And several key points there he actually made. And I want to recap them now for you guys and for everyone at home. So, undefeated, Fabi, but it's actually deeper than that. Out of the 12 games they've so far played this season, 10 in regular, 2 here, they have only dropped 4 maps. Now, those 4 maps haven't actually dropped one to any of the teams at this event. And they haven't dropped a map, of course, at this event. So technically, they could be pretty much flawless as they go through. However, on the flip side of that, the pedigree for winning events is not there on Fabi like it is on Xmen. Guys, what is the difference between these two teams? Are Xmen now going to finally pull it out of the bag and somehow stop what does look like an unstoppable team so far of Fabi? Or is it same old story, Fabi are going to bury them?
Well, to be honest with you, if we were saying we were going to a fresh best of 7, one best of 7, whoever wins, wins. Yep. I give Xmen a chance of taking it and, you know, possibly pulling out the win. But the fact that Fabi have already won a series against them, and Xmen has to win 2 best of 7s against them. And you're saying for the whole season they lost 4 maps.
Yep.
Yeah, that's more than they can, you know, give away.
Games. Yeah,
exactly. So, I mean, that's pretty much impossible for them. I don't want to say that. It's a hell of a mountain to climb. But if they do it, more power to them, because that will be a hell of an achievement. But Fabi have looked so strong today. I just can't see them even, you know, losing one of these series.
Yeah, they haven't. And I want to touch on what Bryson said. Like you say, the difference between these two teams at the moment, Fabi, solid online, have been solid so far, not dropped a single map against other Pro League teams. And you summed it up perfectly. The winning pedigree is not on their side. It's on the side of Xmen. So we have a really intriguing matchup. These two teams already played each other. Fabi came out on top that time. I expect the same kind of thing to happen.
Okay, yeah, I mean, to be fair, let's put this into numbers. I love a good numbers game. It's not all the statistics, but this time it might be. Fabi versus Xmen, if I've got this correct, is 0 and 10 for Fabi. Fabi have won 10. Xmen have won 0 maps.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. In the regular season, they played each other twice. Both times were 3-0 for Fabi, and they've played each other once here, and it's 4-0 for Fabi. So Xmen have yet to take a map off of Fabi, and that doesn't bode well.
Now for everyone sitting at home, we're sitting here, and we're trying to say, you know, Xmen, they do have a chance.
Yeah.
But those numbers, anybody who's watching now looking at those numbers going, are you crazy?
They're not great numbers.
This is going to be so quickly, I'll put the kettle on and miss the first round. I mean, this on paper says we shouldn't have any sort of competition.
But how many times have we talked about this Xmen team and being on paper?
Yeah.
Like, this is the thing about Halo. You get to a grand final, everything that happens before it is pretty irrelevant. You get to grand final, it's one series potentially. You've got to win that series in front of you. Xmen, then they're going to have another chance. If they win that first series, then who knows what could happen. Literally anything could happen.
Yeah,
Fabi is all about the first couple of games in this series, exactly like it was at the start of the
tournament. Literally for Xmen, it has to be right here, right now. Forget about the past, forget about Fabi's undefeated record. You have to take it one game at a time, one series at a time, and just treat them like any other team. You know you can win, you know you can beat them. Let's just do it right here.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, let's cover the FabE roster in depth and talk about these players as the juggernauts they actually are. And I'll tell you what, Wonderboy, why don't you take me through?
Yeah, absolutely. We have Kimbo, Mose, 2 Foxy and Respectful, the undefeated squad from the regular season. The facts on screen right there, untouchables. They were unbeaten. They were absolutely perfect. They like you said, Bryce, haven't dropped a single map against other Pro League Finals teams. They've only dropped maps to the 2 teams in relegation. And like it says there, they have a reason to be confident there. They really have a bravado in game. They really just are very confident. They're very confident in their pushes. They're very aggressive. They show no respect, which is kind of ironic because I have a player called Respectful. But anyway, the experience, again, Kimbo and 2 Foxy, they attended those Halo Worlds. Mose and Respectful have fire in their bellies. They weren't able to make it to Worlds, even though they definitely deserved to, in my opinion, but they desperately tried to, but fell short at EMEA. So they have the motivation, they have the aggression, they have the confidence. Let's see if they can get it done here.
I also think it's very important right now. FabE are in this great position where we've seen every team that's gone up against them today has accused them of choking or accused them of not having the wins under their belt.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity to go, what now, boys?
Yeah.
If they win this really easily, or if they win it at all, they can sit there and go, well,
yeah,
now,
I think
you've got nothing against us.
I think that's what Mose was making. Like, he was making that kind of point in between games. All these teams, like, I think they played against Vibe and they played against the Xmen, and every single game, after every single game, Mose was putting up insane numbers and playing out of his skin. He was just standing up and shouting at the other team, like, what have you got on me now? I've just destroyed you at a live event. Like, what now? Like, what else do I have to do?
Yeah.
It's not only that as well, it's how he reacted after he won the series. You see outbursts of emotion from him. It shows how much it means to these guys after just even, winning their first round matches, their second round matches. So I'm really looking, if they take it, well, how are they going to react to the end of it if they take the whole thing? It's going to be pretty interesting to watch.
It's going to be a tough pill to swallow, I think.
Oh, no, I 100% agree. All right, well, let's talk about their opponents then. Now, their opponents, as much as we've been quite one-sided so far, there is a reason you definitely cannot count out the Xmen so far. On set, give me the lowdown.
Well, on this team, obviously, we have Snipe joining Jimbo. As he previously mentioned, top 8 at Halo World Championship, so incredible pedigree players. And Chalky and Ramirez, part of that infused lineup back at EMEA, who actually put the nail in the coffin for Dignitas. They took home that final there. So we'll look at the facts. Wait for me, Ramirez hasn't attended an event without Chalky for 4 years. So you want to talk about chemistry. I mean, those two, they know each other inside out. They have the most tournament wins out of all the teams at the finals, and all 4 players here have that experience of Halo World Championship high caliber play. So Xmen, hell of a team there, a crazy lineup, and they've been playing really hot coming out the back end of that last series against Vibe.
Is it hot enough? That is the biggest question. Was that last series we saw enough of an improvement, enough of being on their game to take down FabE, bearing in mind they've already suffered a 4-0 defeat to them?
Yeah, I think I spoke to you on the last test segment.
Yeah.
Xmen looked very, very good against Vibe, but FabE are not Vibe. They definitely are not Vibe. FabE are still the undefeated team that demolished them in the winner's bracket. So again, it's a tough mountain to climb here for Xmen.
All right, well, let's see if the vetoes change your mind. We do have the map 1 vetoes coming in to find out exactly how this is going down. So, Coliseum is gone, Stasis is gone, Truth is gone. We are going to be playing Fathom Capture the Flag to kick this one off. Harry, Statman, hit me.
So, Xmen have actually vetoed Fathom Capture the Flag 31% of the regular season, and it's not surprising. They have a 1-3 record on Fathom Capture the Flag, whereas on the FabE side, they have an 8-3 overall record on Capture the Flag, and their Fathom record is very good as well, 3-1. They do actually, a quarter of the time, veto Fathom Capture the Flag, so it's very interesting they decided to ban Truth over that. They essentially got to choose Fathom or Truth, as you see there how the vetoes played out. Stasis was banned out by Xmen, so they basically had to choose between Truth and Fathom.
And Fathom Capture the Flag definitely favours the guys over at FabE. We saw Mose. Last time we saw him on this map, he was just doing insane things with railguns. He was playing some incredible objective as well. Like, he was making runs across map that we haven't really seen before. The way he was baiting flags was incredible. So they're going to be pretty happy with that one, and I think they're going to be confident.
I think they must have been watching the previous series that Xmen just played against Vibe, and a lot of the maps that Xmen played it was down to a lot of individual performances from Jimbo. I feel like Fathom Capture the Flag doesn't really allow for an individual star to take over the game and completely push your team over the line. I really feel like Fathom Capture the Flag is a game type for a cohesive unit and making sure they push around the map together and are setting up for these flag rounds, and that's why Fabi chose that over Truth Capture the Flag, I think.
You know, I actually couldn't agree more. It's the point I was going to bring up here is that when we did see Xmen play, they did look quite individual, really going off it as well. The problem being is that not only do I think Fabi maybe have better team chemistry and better teamwork, but they also have those same explosive players. They can do the damage at the same time. But I'll tell you what, let's see if your mind changes, because here's all of the maps, the best of 7 we're going to see in the first series. And I want you kind of just give your straight reaction to it on set.
Fabi looking strong in those first 3 games. So I can see they're true slayer. They have won pretty much every time we've seen them. I mean, Mo's picked up a massive triple kill with the Fuel Rod to close it out last time we saw them. Plaza Strongholds. That maybe is a game that Xmen could potentially take, though. Only reason I say that is because we've seen them on Eden being very strong in their Strongholds play, but this is Plaza. This is not Eden, so it's a bit of a toss-up for them.
I'm going to have to completely disagree with you there, Mark. When I'm looking at the stats, the record for Fabi, they're obviously undefeated against other Pro League Finals teams. They've only dropped maps to Dinosaurs and Pulse, who were in relegation. Their Strongholds records, 12-0. Their Slayer records, 10-1. I feel like the Capture the Flags are the only hope that Xmen actually have to take a map off Fabi in this series.
All right, well, now we've seen the vetoes, we've discussed the teams at length. I kind of have to find out where you guys sit. So, I'm going to start with you, Harry. How does this one go? Last time, who wins?
I think it will be a much closer series than the first time round. I think Xmen, obviously coming off the series against Five, it was a good warm-up for them. They're going to be warmed up, they're going to be ready. They already know, they've already faced Fabi, they've got stomped 4-0 against them, they know what to expect. I think they take a couple of games. I certainly see Capture the Flag as definitely a weakness for Fabi, but I still see Fabi taking home the W here. I think it's going to be 4-2.
I see Fabi pretty much dominating the series. I mean, I can talk about Xmen, you know, they're fantastic players, etc., but Fabi haven't dropped a game yet this series. The Pro League record is so strong. They've shown they're not just online players. So I'm going to say maybe they'll drop a game, but it's going to be 4-1, 4-0 potentially.
I am, of course, going to join you.
Of course you are, Bryce.
Good guy,
Bryce. Hold on. I got ripped when I disagreed last time around. Yeah. However, there is a very good reason for this.
Because you got it wrong.
No. Yes. No, that's not the reason.
100%.
You
the reason
thought Vibe were going to beat Xmen. You can't talk. No, we don't want predictions from you. Just be quiet. Just move on.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And I'm only here to make you guys look good anyway.
That's a good point.
Which, you know,
you're doing it fantastically.
You definitely need help with.
Great job.
Anyway, the reason I'm going with Fabi is because they've given me no reason to doubt them. There is no logical reason to doubt them at this point.
Yep.
And I said this before, I said this in the game last time we saw them. There's no reason to doubt them. Like, I haven't seen any weaknesses, I haven't seen them play badly. They haven't dropped a map. It's a ridiculous record. So to turn around at this point and go, oh no, Xmen will take it, would just be me hoping for an underdog story.
And of course, they've got to beat Xmen have got to beat them twice. It's not just beating them once, they've got to beat them twice.
Yeah, exactly. It's 2 best-of-7s, big uphill struggle here for the Xmen.
It certainly is. Well, for one more time, it's time for the grand final. And to kick this one off, some say they're the Batman and Robin of EU Halo, but for this, we'll just call them Gaskin and Sims.
Thank you very much, Brycey. Welcome along to the caster booth. Of course, myself and Gaskin about to break down this grand finals matchup. Dan, a pleasure as ever to be joining here. We've obviously seen how the European Pro League has unfolded. This is the pinnacle time. This is the moment. Everybody who's out there in the world, please, 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 tweet, post, share, Facebook, whatever you like. Tell your mum, tell your dad, tell your dog. He might like Halo. Who knows? This is it. It's grand finals time, all on the line. Biggest story, my friend Daniel. Can these guys, the ones who are known as the Online Warriors, Fabi, can they clinch victory and pick up a trophy at the end of today?
Hell yeah. These guys have been absolutely phenomenal, and just seeing the map vetoes as well. 3 of the first 4 game types, Fabi have already beaten Xmen on those today. So you've got to say it would favour this Fab E team. I mean, they are just looking unstoppable. You can tell they're confident, and they are just oozing this kind of passion and desire to pick up that trophy at the end of today.
I'll tell you what, Brandon Stones, aka Respectful, was not lying when he said that he told me that it only fueled the fire. And I said, and I still stand by that, losing at EMEA finals, it wasn't a pretty sight, as you mentioned. Many a tear was shed, many a disappointing player was seen. It wasn't a great scene, you know, when we looked at it, but it was still a great thing to happen to these players because it's only driven them to do better and show them how much they really want this. The trophy is there. It's within inches. They can smell it, they can taste it, they can almost grab it. As I look down at the studio now, I see team captain Ramirez running across his lineup, giving some fist pumps, getting the team hyped up. This is a fight, not only for survival, but of their life. This is not a molehill. This is a mountain. Obviously, Fabi have 4-0'd them previously. This is double elimination, best of 7. In theory, this could go to the maximum length of 14 games. If they win the best of 7 Xmen, the bracket will reset, and of course they will have to take down Fabi and do it all again. But as we mentioned, Dan, they've yet to drop a series, including today, throughout the entirety of the Pro League.
I mean, just looking across statistics, everything just screams Fabi are going to win, especially going to this first game, capture the flag on Fathom. Fabi's record, including today, is 5-1. Xmen's record, including today, is 2-4. So these guys, they know what to expect of this matchup. Fabi won it earlier, so Xmen will know what kind of push Fabi are going to get off the start. And I think, to be honest, Sims, I want to start things off with Mose, just because he's been performing so well today all throughout these finals.
All right, then, let's jump into the POV of the Italian Stallion. People in the audience, let's make some noise. It's grand finals time, baby. Everyone's hyped up. Mose now dropping down bot mid, looking for any players. Grenade goes in. No hit markers are found. He's got a teammate behind him with that light rifle. Xmen, Xmen, Xmen. I'm seeing 3 players down at Fabi, though. Mose is the last of life. He gets cleaned up. That's the entirety of the team wiped out.
Yeah, and actually the flag has been pulled already by Ramirez. We'll hop over to him and see what he's doing. Look at this early dominance from Xmen. They actually got a couple of kills. Mose was taken down with the railgun as well, and now Ramirez will be able to put this one in. He's not going to get taken down, so 1-0 to the Xmen. What an early start. This is exactly what they needed, Sims.
And another stealth cap. This is exactly reminiscent of when we watched him previous back on Truth when he was facing off against Fabi. No fear. Grab a flag, run the hell out of it. Stealth capture as well. No one touched him. Chalky needs some defense, though. He's getting low with some grenades across the map. Look for him to jump now. One player comes steamboating around. That's going to be Kimbo. Cleans him up with the IR, and all of a sudden the flag return is in the bag.
Yeah, Kimbo getting the return there as well. Very important. I noticed this about Fabi on flag game types as well. Sometimes they will be a little bit slow to start. They just try and find their footing. They'll try and get those power-ups, try and get those power weapons to start off. They will sacrifice kind of map control for those power-ups, and by doing so they may just concede a flag or two, but they do find their way back into the game in the long run.
Quite interestingly though, early so much more is going to give Jimbo the nice hot 5 to the jawline, takes him down. Now he'll advance into the porch and into the gen. Going to block any spawns here. Grenades are coming in thick and fast, looking for some hit markers. He's going to challenge Jim again. Can he give him another 5? No, he cannot. Jim gives him the crab, drops down, and he will avoid that one shot. Let's have a look across the POV. Siu's are left. We'll move across to team captain Respectful. Again, this is the man who we have said, Dan, is the best player in Europe right now.
Yeah, he is, and he's just up here because he knows that the camouflage is going to be up in roughly 15 seconds. So is the railgun as well, so it's an important time on this map. You will see teams start to push towards this middle. You will get a kind of clash of the titans down here, but the railgun comes out from Jimbo. Let's take a look over and see if he can make any more kills out of this railgun. Actually decides to kind of back off from that shot, and he does get taken down, so let's see what Mose can do. He's going to be pushing top mid for this camouflage.
Tiny little bit unlucky there for Respectful. He did let go of that. I've got to say though, at this moment in time, this game looks well and truly in control of Xmen. They're getting the slays, they're doing well, they're keeping the pressure back onto Fabi. Ramirez is coming out for the objective efficiency as ever. Mose comes steaming out. He needs to get this kill. Unfortunately misses the beat down. Now 2 people will advance. Very, very unlucky. That were a good opportunity to get another pull on the go.
Yeah, it just seems like everything's a little bit messy when these power-ups are coming up, but Snipe Drone has found himself a railgun. He might be able to do some work with it. One of these teams just really needs to get a control and get those spawns happening when the railgun, when the camo's coming up, to really take advantage of it, because at the moment both camouflages have been burnt.
Oh, Kimbo with the thrust to the left. He dives out of the way of that oncoming railgun from Snipe Drone. He's already give Respectful 1. Looking to see where he's gone. Now he's completely disappeared off the radar, so I'm interested to find whether he's hiding up in the corner or whether he's just dive bombed. from the town. Nope, he's not in tree either. Now, that actually might be him. He's probably going to be coming off the respawn. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Mose comes around with a light rifle, drills Snipe Drone in the back of the head. Let's pop on board with Mose now and see what he can do.
Yeah, and Mose are respectful just all tournament. They've just been pushing around together, and then when you've got a player like Kimbo that can come help and support, it's one thing I've noticed all tournament. As actually a great beat down there from Mose on Jimbo, but Kimbo is just always there when you need him. If you need him to defend a flag, he'll be there. If you want him on the offense, he'll be there. He just seems to be everywhere. Power-ups, map control, that man is one to watch.
Okay, so the flag is now on the move. A little bit of an aggressive start. Mose is out in the open. He's going to clean up Jimbo. Cliffhanger medal as well. Jim doesn't get away. Probably will try to lunge himself and thrust to top mid. Mose, though, crouching down. Grenades coming in. He pushes on Ramirez. He wants this kill, but the nade fire's back. Rami says, let's have it, Sunshine. I can fight back too. Takes him down. And now we see Foxy going one-on-one versus Jimbo. Jimbo's standing his ground. He is going to turn face. But Jimbo versus Kimbo, exact opposite side of the map. He tries to get a stick on Mose. He knows where he is, so look to Jimbo now pushing in the bottom end.
Yeah, Kimbo is running this flag, and actually active camouflage is just spawned as well, so I'm not sure if any players have picked that one up, but Kimbo, he needs some support from his teammates. He's taken down. Jimbo's actually in the base doing some absolute work, but he also goes down as well, so we'll go across to Chalky, see if he can do anything, but everyone is just dying at the moment. I'm not sure if the flag will go in. They need to get a return out of this one, so we'll hop across, see if 2Foxy can do this. He's going to get it in, and there we go. That is 1-1. Fabi getting one on the board as well.
But you know what? That's a cracking shot there from Snipe Drone. He takes down one in the base. That's going to be Kimbo. Kimbo looks to push him out. The kill's not coming yet. There it is. We see Respectful going to clean him up, and the assist medals on the side. Now this is a very, very nasty combination. We've got the camo and we've got the stone rifle, and of course we've got it in the hands of Mose. He's more than likely going to get a little bit of a pull on this, throw it out into the open and try and bait that out, but you know what? Nobody was covering that spawn at all over in the vat. And then all of a sudden Kimbo comes back over as well. He's going to get railed in the jawline. Jim's going to grab the flag. He's got some really good coverage here. They're going to run it below the tree, take it through the garage, just so he can hop across. Xmen, Xmen, Xmen. I've just seen a trio, a whole kill feed lighting up on the left-hand side, Dan. That means that Xmen have got the numbers advantage. Look across there, though, Dan. He's got support. They're flooding inside the base. Chalky's going to clean one up. Fair enough, the flag is out. He's got support, I believe, from Snipe Drone to get the return. In it goes. Xmen 2-1 up.
And all of this stems from when Mose had that camouflage and he decided to pull that flag. He got seen and he was punished for it. Xmen were able to counter efficiently, able to get some map control. Chalky struggling here now to defend his base as Fab E are now on the aggressor, as we will jump across to Mose and see what he can do.
We're always on the POV of Mose. We're going to start switching things up. I want to see what 2Fox is up to, because to be honest with you, he kind of seems to be the underdog that we don't watch a lot of. He's going to grab that kill there to stop the flag pull, and now he comes back home. The counter cap was very alive. We're all drawn up, guys, 2 apiece.
Yeah, Railgun is up, but the third flag is on the move in the hands of Mose. Chalky is going to be there to try and stop this, but great pistol work there from Mose. He needs to be careful, though. Someone is going to push from behind, so he needs a little bit of help. He does get taken down. The camo will be up shortly, but Jimbo is returning this flag to make sure it stays 2-2.
And more importantly, look at where he is. He's top mid, he's got map control, he's also got a full railgun. Look to save and conserve his bullets. Foxy goes flying over his forehead. Then he comes out. He's only one shot. I'm surprised he didn't go for that one. His teammates there for support. That's because the camo is up. They need to make a good advancement on that. Ramirez picks up a double kill as well in the kill feed. Not entirely sure who bagged that one. It is, of course, going to be who else? None other than Mr. Mose.
Yeah, Mose has found himself a camouflage once again. I've got to say, across the tournament in general, Fabi's power-up timings have been absolutely fantastic. Kimbo or Mose are always there to pick it up, but I want to see Mose make the most of it. The last time we saw him with camo, he did unfortunately have a timely death, and he was punished for it, but a great railgun kill coming there from Jimbo. Let's see if he can get any more kills with this railgun.
He did go for the challenge. Jimmy said no, absolutely shut it down. You know what, guys? It's tied up 2-2. We're going to get an Xmen listening lined up. I want to hear what these guys are saying, because right now they know these are giving Fabi the fight of their life. Can they beat them? Can they clean victory? Double kill for Jimmy. Triple kills running away. He's looking for it. He was pre-firing. He's tanking up Respectful. He's calling out for help. They're going to put this one in. Oh my word! Xmen take game number 1 from Fabi.
And that is exactly what they needed to get back into these finals. I spoke to Jim before this game. He said, look, if we can take game 1, then maybe we can take the whole thing. They just need that confidence booster. Fantastic way to start that. And boy, that's the first time that Fabi have lost a map to anyone at these finals across the Pro League.
Can we do it? can it happen? This is incredible. Jim, we're going to bring the stats up in just a second, but they looked so comfortable and so confident.
I think Onset said it perfectly during the analysis. He said, I think if Xmen are going to get any games, it's going to be during a capture the flag. They've looked a little bit rocky, Fabi, on capture the flags. A lot of 3-2s across the board, but they've pulled their socks up when they needed to. They just couldn't find that third flag capture, though, in that game. Xmen, you're right, though. They just had control of the map the whole time.
So, there you have it then. The X-Men claim victory in game number 1. Exciting, exciting stuff. It looks like Ramirez was topping the charts there. Dan's going to give us a rundown of some of the kills.
Yeah, respectful. 12 kills, 13 deaths. On the other side, 13 kills from Snipe Drone, just the 10 deaths. But Jimbo doing some work with the 14 kills. He was putting those on the board. And actually, Chalky doing work as well with 13. Actually, across the board from X-Men, just solid work. 13 and 14 kills,
Ramirez
all going
topping
positive.
the boards, though.
Yeah.
That's something that we don't often see. And 9 assists as well coming out of Ramirez. Damage of over 2k. In fact, all players over 2k. Actually, someone did hit 2k on the opposing side. Only one member of Fabi doing that. So, yeah, the pressure is now on, and this is the turning point, okay? So you've got these boys on your screen right now, from left to right. Snipe Drone, Jimbo, Chalky, Ramirez. Look at them. In the background there, you've got Xavier. This is the point now. So these two will get up. Let's get hyped. Let's get pumped, boys. Let's rock and roll into game number 2.
I mean, the big thing from that game, so Fabi, they had 3 power-up pickups. We saw that. We saw Kimbo, we saw Mose doing work. But in terms of power weapon pickups, these guys, these X-Men, they had 3 power weapon pickups, 13 kills. So that means with the railgun, they were doing some absolute work. Only 1 power weapon kill on the other side. So that's absolutely fantastic from the X-Men.
So while we run through the map 2 vetoes, we'll see if we can get a free shot of Fab Esports. I want to see what they look like and what the composure looks like in comparison to X-Men, because they're pumped. They're ready to rock and roll and move into this game number 2. As you can see on screen, guys, this is going to be the standard format. We move into game 2, which will be a Slayer. X-Men go first. They will ban out Colosseum. Fabi follow up with Eden. Back to X-Men for the rig, followed by Regret, followed by Plaza, which leaves us with Truth Slayer. Now, any initial thoughts on this one, Daniel, my good friend?
Well, I mean, Fabi did win this one in the previous series against these guys as well. Their overall record is 4-0. X-Men yet to actually win this game type in Pro League overall, but they just proved us wrong in game 1, where Fabi had previously won that game type. So X-Men, now the momentum is with them. Can they carry it on for the rest of this final, or are Fabi going to answer this one back by getting a Team Slayer on the board here? But I wonder if that's going to rock them a little bit, dropping their first map.
It will do, mate. That's scary. And honestly, Jimmy right now gives absolutely no care in the world. You got to, and again to Snipe Drone, they were just going in. This is, I don't want to say the Jimbo of old, because it's not exactly a great change to what we've seen, but in terms of turning up at an event, this is what we expect from this roster. Turn up, slaughter enemy teams. Fair enough. They're coming. You got to remember, these guys got 4-0'd by the opposing roster. Now, let's see if Fabi just say, all right, guys, we give you one. It's time to turn on the train and just completely sweep this now with 4 straight wins.
Well, I mean, it's do or die, and these X-Men players are knowing for pulling their socks up at the right kind of moments. And on the other side, everyone's been questioning Fabi all day. Will they choke? Everyone's been saying, no, look, they're not going to choke. They've made the finals, but there's still plenty of room for a choke to happen. In fact, it would probably be one of the biggest chokes in history, dare I say, if they were to lose 2 best-of-7s. But I won't get too excited about that happening. I really think that Fabi are going to have a great response. Who do you want to start things off with, Sims?
I would like to start things off with Chalky. We've not seen too much of Chalky. Then after this, I want to take a look at 2Fox's POV, because we've not seen too much of him this event, and we know how good these 2 players, and obviously ex-long-term teammates as well, are. We're going to see, I believe, that's going to be Kimbo with the first camo. We will hop on board with his POV now. But you know what? He gets tanked up with a wild splinter grenade. It comes flying across the map and hits him directly at his feet. He does stay alive, looking across the board now. He's got support from his teammate below. We're getting a call out. Jim is alive and well as he takes down Respectful over on this car side. Then he gets cleaned up. Jim says, I am finishing this kill. Carbine in the back pocket. You're going to see Moores straight dive bombing from P3. Chalky's up there as well. You can see the grenade came flying past because that is Ramirez going to give some support. Wow. Oh my, Jimmy. What a fantastic shot from across the map.
Yeah, great shots there from Jimbo, and everyone's just watching that top mid, making sure that no one gets that fuel rod. We saw the damage that Mose did, that Kimbo does when they get the fuel rod. Jimbo's actually going to get taken down there at Carbine as well, so we'll jump over to Mose, see if he's going to grab this fuel rod, but it's a close one. It's closer than I thought it was after a start, especially when Kimbo had that camouflage, but he really couldn't do anything with it. He was constantly running away and eventually just got caught out.
Taking a look around now, Moores is just prowling to find some map presence. They are down, but by only 1 kill, everything's still to play for. Respectful's calling for some help because he's on his own. We can see the grenades are tagging him up. Snipe Drone's going to get caught off guard as he goes sprinting by Moores. No doubt he will get cleaned up by Respectful. Either that or juke him out. Nope, he's still alive, trying to get away with it. 1-on-1 though, and he's staying alive. He's doing a really good job, and once again, nobody with the assist. No one's cleaned it up. It finally... No, he's still alive. I'm looking at that kill fight. I have no idea where... Oh, finally, he does go down. Kimbo will see him. This is going to be quite a slow-paced game, guys. We're going to tee up, as we mentioned last time, and listen in with blue team of Xmen. I want to see how they're going to claim victory in map number 2 and keep pushing Fabi and possibly even crown them victorious. So you know what, guys? Let's jump on board with the Xmen.
Camo's at 9:51. Camo's at 9:51. 5 seconds till Camo, right? 5 seconds till Camo, right?
My camo, top mid, guys. Watch
They're going to be a red car. One's going to be a red car. They're on the car side.
From red. Mike.
Mike's got him. Nice. Okay, now start staying alive. Work as a unit. Keep watching each other.
Andy, go spot, yeah.
One shot on me, one shot P2.
One car, Andy, blue car, careful.
Nice nade,
Run him at the red.
No silly deaths.
Straight off.
I watch top mid, fuel, top middle, two top middle, guys.
P1 side, one side.
Careful. Kimbo, 2 top mid. Kimbo,
calm it down.
Harry's one shot.
Calm it down. I'm meaning calm down.
One shot on me, red one. One shot with Gate.
Kimbo's weak up there. Kimbo's challenging me. 2 shots down, also 1
Okay, stop talking again to each other. Say what we're doing.
Nice, good kill, Jim. Good kill. Help Jim.
Stay there, Mike. Stay there, Jim. Stay up, Jim.
Mike, I'm coming to you. Jim, I'm coming to you, sorry.
Watch your car one, flanking up.
Nice shot.
Car 2, the red car side, 2 shots.
You've got help on P. There's both of you
watch
there.
out, mate. Back up, mate. Yeah, still alive.
2 red car side weak, 2 red car side weak.
Yeah, Jim, go to Jim.
Jim, car 1, red car.
He's one shot, he's dropped down, Jake.
2 one shot, they one shot both.
Watch the lit. Random's on you.
He's lifted now. That's
one
car 2 and this one red car.
5 kills.
There was 2 red car side, man. Careful.
One shot on me.
Come on. They're going to try and trade this up.
P2.
Jay's coming to you.
He's got fuel P2, man.
Don't push him. Run back.
Swords down, this one's Lads, 4 kills. We're literally in this. This is cool. He got fuel P2. He got fuel P2.
Buddy system.
Red car.
We're going to hold that bubble.
Listen, Jake's holding red card. Car's clear. Make a move on P slowly.
Watch your relay, Mike.
Someone come and get this sword car 1.
Can't against Slade and Blue. Okay, look, it's 6 kills. There's nothing.
There's a guy. Yeah, I'm gonna get melted there. He's scratch that car 1. If I move fuel,
I can't do anything.
Okay,
car 1 was still
reset.
Car 1 and watch out, P.
I'm Mike weak. I'm coming.
Fuel is up.
Call you one shot,
Car 2, I'm living.
Biggest one shot, car 2.
Andy, you've got help from Jake. Another one here from
Jake,
me.
I got you back.
There's another one weak. Let's do that.
P2 absolutely.
Listen. Buddy system. Camo Jim.
2 shot, car 2 shot.
One shot top car, guys.
No deaths. No silly deaths. Stop working together. Andy, you as well.
Okay. It went back to blue base, guys.
Mike, you're on your own. Take your time. If you're on your own, take your time. We've got fueling. Listen, we've got fueling Camo. Take your time.
Wait, I'm going to try and get some red bubble.
One crouch in there, maybe, Jake.
Blue bubble's 2 shot.
Live, Jake.
Keep an eye, get an eye on me here.
Fine, Jim. Amazing.
Look at car 2.
Those are soaring for you, Jim. He's weak. I'm going to jump for it. Hit it.
It's watching on you, Brendan on you. I got one. Chucky, we looking. No, Moses swords. Moses pushing. Two guys. I'll get behind you. Nice, then go do what you can, Moses. Behind you, Nice run, nice. Stay alive. I hear you. He's still there. He's hiding. Wait. I tried to jump. I'm coming down. He's coming down. I'm one shot. I can't see him. One shot still. Nice. Good shit. I died. Blue kill. Stay alive, guys. No deaths, boys. Nice, boys. One's in red. dead.
I'm looking.
Right, just crouch. All you need to do is crouch, Mose. All you need to do is crouch. I'm pushing red for you.
See you, Robbie. See you, Robbie. Car one.
Bait, they got close. Spate, man. Hold
I'm here, Robbie. He's in bubble chalky.
Just fucking hold it. They're all over car and stuff. They're all over car and stuff.
Car one, snipe drone, weak. Watch out, car one. Mose basement.
What a perfect kill. Mose goes flying through the air. Definitely a difference in comms, Dan. You see how calm and collective the Xmen are, but over on the opposing side, they know they are with only 10 kills. They've got a 10-kill lead and only 10 kills away for putting one on the board. Definitely a lot louder and a lot prouder of the roster.
That's exactly what I was going to say. There's just so much confidence coming out of this Fabi squad. That map loss has not hurt their confidence whatsoever. Currently 13 kills coming out of Mose. He's really been doing work with that sword. How he managed to stay alive at P2 for so long earlier is beyond me, and you could just hear the players screaming, stay alive, don't give away any easy deaths. Fab E still want this. There's still a lot of energy in their tank.
Still everything in the barrel and everything to play for. Nades are going to grow in from Torquay. He's going to try and take down that one player, but Jimbo comes in to help him out. 35-42 is the score. We've just hit 5:30 on the clock. Still plenty of time to bring this one back, but you know what? That's a big deficit. They need to take things rather slowly. He's going to try and scope him, which he does, and then he will sort him to get the initial kill, but you know what? Respectful's answering back on the opposing side of the map with camo and fuel rod.
Yeah, he went and grabbed himself a camouflage and was like, oh, hey, fuel rod's up as well. And now all the bag of goodies are going to come into play. He doesn't even need to use this on Ramirez. He could have just gone for the back whack. Sees Jimbo off spawn, and now actually he will get support from his teammates as well. Respectful's just playing absolutely out of his mind now. This is the perfect response that they needed after losing that map 1.
And to be honest with you, I think we're going to be seeing the map 2 going in the favour of Fabi. Only 3 more to put this one in the bag, make that 10-kill lead. This is superbly impressive stuff. Let's hop on board with 2 Foxy. He's going to, you know what, it doesn't matter. He got the final kill, sword come in, and that's it, boys and girls. Fabi will put one on the board. We're all tied up at 1 game apiece.
I don't think we'll ever see Fabi lose that game type. They look absolutely incredible on it. It's just, when you get Respectful and Mose being so aggressive, and then you've got players like Kimbo just going up there, grabbing Furor Cannon, and then you've got Foxy walking around as well, just timing camouflage. Like, it's just the perfect mix of players for Slayer. Dare I say it, Infused even wouldn't beat Slayers on them against them. But we'll have a look at these stats. 14 kills coming out of Jimbo, but not enough to winning the game on the other side, however.
Yeah, I believe on the opposing side we are seeing 15, 12, 12 and 11. A little bit of a poor performance from Ramirez down at the bottom, 5 and 12. Snap Drone 8 and 14. Chalky going neutral, but only Jimmy going positive for his roster, and that was, of course, only by 1 point. But you know what, Dan? Look at that top stat, 15 and 7. That's setting a precedence now. Mose, this event so far, he's definitely my MVP. You know, his tournament turn-up is just truly, truly incredible.
Oh, without a doubt, and almost accumulating 2,000 points worth of damage in that game. 12 power weapon kills for the whole Fab E squad compared to just 3 from the Xmen as well, so clearly in control of that fuel rod cannon as we would expect. They have been the whole tournament, and we say it time and time again, Sims, some players just don't like the fuel rod, but I would be happy with any player from Fab E having it in their hands.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy with any of these players having any kind of weapon, no matter what map we look at, whether it's rockets, whether it's a saw, camo, OS, sniper, it doesn't matter. You put it in any one of these players' hands and they're going to use it to its full ability and really play out the entire map. Okay, so on board, you see now with the POV, that would be Kimbo. Again, looking to try and bag an event win with these teammates who we actually, funnily enough, booted out of the EMEA regional finals back at HWC with this very organization. In the back there, you will see Coach Liam Peck, aka Havoc, who did, of course, such a great asset to this roster. I just want to point out, Liam was on We Know the Secret in Open Circuit. He was 3 for 3 when that was running, bagged himself a nice bit of cash and got some good points, but he decided to step away from that as he wanted to coach this roster and help them to their first event win as a team. Let's take a look at the vetoes for map number 3.
Yeah, going in, it looks like Fabi have decided to veto Eden Strongholds, and I'm not entirely surprised after we saw the impressive performance of Xmen earlier against Vibe. Xmen then vetoing Empire. Fabi Fabi vetoing the rig, leaving us with Plaza Strongholds. Records for these two across the board, 5-0 for Fabi, so a confident one for them. 4-2 for Xmen. I think Onset said, though, after the performance from Xmen on the Eden Strongholds game earlier, you'd expect them to kind of perform well on Plaza Strongholds, but Wonderboy kind of chimed in. He said, hey, hold on a second, 5-0 for Fabi. These guys are going to be extremely confident. I'd like to, after that performance, after that Truth Slayer performance, I think I'm leaning towards Fabi, especially if Mose can just continue to do what he's doing. He's just performing absolutely exceptionally right now.
Yeah, I think this, especially if they win this, that's going to be it. The floodgates are going to be open. The Fabi train is going to be allowed to just flow okay, say it now.
Words
freely.
are hard.
There we go, let me have a drink. Freely through. Words are hard indeed, especially when it's grand finals and we've been doing this all day, but you know what, it's worth it. This is some fantastic Halo we're seeing. If you are just joining us, everyone in the chat, whether you're on Twitch or Facebook, welcome along to the European HCS Pro League Summer Season Finals. These 4 teams did qualify. 2 of them went to relegation. 2 of them came up through relegation again, and all 6 teams have made it into the fall season. But of course, there can only be 4 that advance here at finals. We are down to our final 2. It's Championship Sunday. It's Grand Finals game. Fabi versus Xmen. Of course, this is double elimination, best of 7. If, and you know, the mountain is big, it's very tall, but if we do see Xmen clinching this first best of 7, the bracket will reset, and of course we will go off into another best of 7. Strongholds on Plaza is the name of the game. 100 points to win. You need 2 plots in order to start racking up points on the board. The more people you have in a plot, of course, the faster it will transfer to your team. If you do pick up a triple cap, the points will start to rack up at double the speed.
I want to start things off with 2Foxy. You said we've not seen too much of him. He's pretty much the captain of this squad. I know Respectful is the official captain, but 2Foxy is definitely the player who does call the shots. He'll be the player you want to rely on to kind of get those moments where to rally your team. He's just going to grab a shotgun and wait in yard, though, as 2 of his teammates are actually taken down, so he's going to take a position to try and get an angle on this bottom mid.
Interestingly, he's going to overextend. He's going to... Oh! Jimmy's teabagging him, and you know what? He absolutely deserves it because he just ducked twice out of 2 shotguns, something out of the Matrix, and how did he even kill him? That's incredible. The tilt factor, I feel, will be real. Then Kimbo gets 5'd across the map. Unfortunately, a grenade won't come down, and he will. Jimmy's reign, he'll end that one, but honestly, Dan, ducking out of 2 shotguns? You what, mate?
Jimbo just doing some Matrix stuff, absolutely unreal. One thing I noticed from Xmen earlier when they played this game type, the whole time Chalky just kept pushing yard. They kept putting that pressure on the other team when they were there. He said, look, you're going to have to come back, but Fabi do exactly the same thing. Both teams, they go for that tri-cap. They don't let the other team have any chance to breathe. So I feel this game type could get a little bit messy.
Yeah, Jimbo just killed wow, Hail Mary coming across the map. Kimbo just lobbing some nades and finding some faces. We can see, looking on the kill feed there, Respectful's also going to take down Snipe Drone for a 2nd time in a row off the spawn. He was trying to camp down in yard, but Kimbo now, he's just lining people up across the map.
I did switch over to Mose there, and he got taken out because he was just putting some aggression onto yard. This is what I was saying. They've now trapped them in yard. They know exactly where they are. Foxy's got a shotgun again. We know what happened last time he had one of those. He's probably going to get taken down again. He will. That shotgun just seems to be cursing him right now.
Xmen. That is all 4 dead now for Fabi, so this is the time to really make something happen. The pit's going to get captured. They're going to move around to yard. Here's Chalky now. He's just going to run his way around the loop, pick up the SMG, and now they'll try and make a collapsion on Nest. Of course, there is no sniper rifle this time on this map. Instead, you just got a nice plot there that you want to try and keep a hold of, but as well as bottom mid, 2 of them are going to jump in. But unfortunately, Fabi answer back in just as quick succession. They return face on that one, and again, they're grabbing points on the board.
And the camouflage should be up. I don't know if any of the players have kind of noticed that and gone for it yet, but that will definitely be the play they want to be setting up for that one. We'll jump across to Respectful. He's just kind of controlling this nest at the moment. Trying to take this battle, does win that one. Fantastic shots there from Respectful.
We'll bring up the observer mode in just a second to show you how these teams are spread out across the map. You can see Respectful now jumping in bottom mid. He's going to reset that. He'll then push back. His teammates will advance into yard. They'll grab total control. Snipe Drone. Here comes the body shots to let him know that he just completely wrecked him. The camo is up currently. Looking for someone to pick that up and try and do big things with it. Foxy's just trying to stay alive. We're on board with this POV at the moment. Let's bring up the observer mode. Let's take a look how these teams are laid out across the entirety of the map now. You can see Snipe Drone's getting pushed by Respectful. Respectful's pushing in hard on him. Mo's also gets taken down within the yard. Jim and Mo's working kind of one-on-one at this moment in time. Mo's actually just been taken down, so I believe that was Chalky. They're going to continue on with yard, but here comes Respectful. Mr. I do what I want. Goes underneath Jimbo. Gets away with his life. Takes down Chalky. Finds him one by one. Jimbo will make him pay for it, but very, very scrappy plays here.
Yeah, I did say it could get messy, but it's still in the favor of this Fabi squad. They said, look, we're happy for it to get messy. We'll get hard. We'll get in your faces. We'll take the individual battles because they're winning them at the moment. They just keep pinning them back in yard. Look at this. Jimbo's having to push towards yard, but Respectful's there just being a nuisance. Wobble. Yes, okay, he got the reset, but they still now they put some points on the board. But as I say, that bottom mid is also taken. And Jimbo off the respawn now needs to have the decision. Where do I go? Do I go to support my teammates? They're just going to get a little bit flustered now as the points are starting to rack up for the opposition team.
They need to be extremely careful that they just don't get pinned back. They've got the nest. Oh, just a second too late, so they will lose traction on that. Most comes in, gets the quick reset. Lovely work from him. He's also going to grab a double. A great grenade came in. Kimbo will shut him down and stop this Jimbo advancement. We'll go across to Kimbo, and as soon as we do that, curse of the caster, he gets lit up. Coming with Snipe Drone straight off the spawn. He moved out of the loop. And now we are looking at Respectful. He will die as well. Gets hit in the back, the Snipe Drone. And at the moment, this is super, super messy. So we're going to see Jimbo grab the camo. Can he get anything else? He's also picked up a kill. We'll have a look across the board and see what he can do.
Yeah, Jimbo actually with 15 kills at the moment as well, performing really well, able to pick up that camouflage. Maybe this is the turning point in the series, but, well, they have to play almost flawlessly if they want to get back into this game, because Fabi will happily let this be a scrappy one. They can just get aggressive, really get in the faces, and they'll just want to pick up those points time and time again. They'll just start to bleed through this Xmen lineup.
Oh, but triple cap, Dan, just as we say that, triple cap does come in, and only for a brief moment, but still putting a couple of points on the board when they need it most. He needs to get in and stop this bottom middle conversion. There's two people there. Unfortunately, it's too late, though. Too Foxy jumps off a white card, dodges a bullet, and all of a sudden, bottom mid is back in control. How fast was that? They had the full triple cap, and within just as many seconds, they're on the back foot once again.
Yeah, just the Fabi squad, they just group up so well. They just like piranhas. As soon as they see those people in bottom mid, they just all swarm into it. Foxy now in a position where he's going to try and take out these players in bottom mid. Smartly actually decides not to take a losing battle, and he will instead go and help his teammates over at Nest.
3 players advance on Ramirez. Two of them now are going to drop down to bottom mid to try and set this back. Chalky's putting some great shots and some great nades from up on S4. Brandon's throwing it through up there, but they're getting no hit markers whatsoever. And I've got to call Xmen out on this one. Respectful was on his own bottom mid and no one even bothered to challenge him. He was allowed to take that bottom mid control point all on his own.
Yeah, and Fabi now running away with it now. Just 2 more points needed. It's just a formality, a few teabags just to rub salt in the wounds. 2-1 to Fab E.
That is what happens when you poke the bear. You get the claws, my friend. The Fabi train is starting to open up. They are now only 2 games away from being crowned your Summer Pro League HCS champions. This is getting hot and fired up. As we look across the kill feed, we're going to bring up Jimbo's stats because I just want to show you at home how much work this man put in that game. 20 bomb he hit, but only one of his teammates in the form of Chalky hit a double-digit figure. Incredible stuff from him, but as we've seen time and time again, Halo 5, it's a team effort. Everybody needs to step up.
Yeah, Jimbo was performing really well there. I mean, he was just doing everything for his team, really, and it can be slightly depressing for a player when that happens, when you get so many kills and you do still lose the game, but you've just got to keep your chin up. You can't blame your teammates for that. And what was interesting is the camouflage really didn't come into play throughout the whole game. I think for about a minute it was just left on the map. They just completely ignored it because there was so much going on. It was so hectic. I said it might get a little bit messy, and it did, but really it just played into the hands of Fabi. Fabi were more than capable of taking on those long individual battles.
So it looks like Mo's had 13 kills, Respectful had 12, to Foxy with 19, and of course Kimbo with 11 on the opposing side. We had Ramirez 7 and 14, double negative. Snipe Drone of all things 6 and 17. Not a great ratio out of them. Chalky 11 and 12, negative 1, but man of the hour Jimmy 20 and 12, positive 8, 6 assists, and of course 2.1k damage. The only player on his team to get above. The next person down was 1.7k.
One thing I've noticed from Snipe Drone pretty much all this tournament, if there isn't a sniper on the map, he has struggled a little bit. I mean, is he just solely revolving around this sniper, or can he kind of bring up the big guns in these matchups? He needs to kind of wake up a little bit. In the matchups where he lost earlier, Snipe Drone wasn't putting up very good stats, so I'd be expecting him to pick his game up a little bit. We know he is capable of it. One of the best players in Europe, without a doubt. So Xmen now, they've been answered back. It's 2-1 to Fabi, and we'll go into map 4, which I believe is Capture the Flag on Truth.
And once again, no sniper rifle on this map, and you mentioned, can he step up to the plate when there's no sniper? Me personally, yes, because more importantly, there's a sword on here, and if there's one, again, he's one of those kind of players that will aggressively push with the sword, but one thing we do notice, he's quite a calm player, and he's quite a quiet player. You know, he relies a little bit more for his coach to call out for him and help him out. He does like to move around and kind of have his team move around him. Just really quickly before we go any further, map veto's in effect right now. Your game number 4, game 1. Capture the flag. How these works, capture the flag on Fathom, already been played. That is no longer part of the pool. We go into game 2. Because Xmen had the first pick last time, we then moved to Fabi. They get the first pick, they ban out Colosseum. Then goes back to Xmen, they ban out Stasis, and now we move into the only map that's left in the pool. It's going to be Capture the Flag on Truth. Dan, any stats that shine out for you on this one?
Well, once again, Fabi actually beat Xmen on this map earlier. They are 6-1 across the whole of Pro League, including today. Xmen 5-2, so a very dominant map for both teams. Not entirely surprised Fabi getting rid of Colosseum. They're 0-1 in the game. They did play for 25% veto percent during the regular season. On the other side, the Stasis ban, a very common theme that we've seen all season, 56% of vetoes from Xmen on that map. They really just don't want to play Stasis, but Truth is the final map that we're going to have, and I think this is going to be an interesting one. I think the sword actually is going to play the biggest part. The sword and fuel rod, definitely in the hands of Fabi, seem to be extremely dangerous, so if I was on the Xmen squad, I'd be trying to single out those players that are kind of timing them and going for them.
And there she is in all of her shining glory, inches away from both teams. That, my friends, is the HCS EU Summer Pro League trophy. Whichever team will be lifting that above the head, possibly one at the end of this series, maybe not. We could see Xmen clinch up and kind of, clinch it by clutching up at the end of this and reset the bracket into a second best of 7, or we could see Fabi collect victory with the next 2 game types and be raising that trophy and sticking an event win in the books for them. Capture the Flag on Truth, guys, is your next game type. 3 flag captures will claim you victory. If by the end of this game we are drawn up, we will go into overtime. By the end of overtime, if there's also another draw, we will of course reset the game and go back to the start and do it all again so we have a winner. Truth is a very interesting game. I'm quite a big fan of it myself. Again, it requires a lot of teamwork, Dan. You need to get your setups, you need to control that fuel rod and the rifles and just watch where players are coming. And of course, people like Kimbo. Ramirez did actually just perfect someone across the map. Not entirely sure that was, but in doing so, it gave Kimbo the opportunity. Oh, 3 Xmen kills and also a flag move as well. 3 kills coming in for Xmen. They've pretty much shut down Fabi straight off the spot.
Yeah, we saw this earlier from the Xmen as well. They do have a very solid start on Capture the Flag Truth. We've also seen a weakness from Fabi in Capture the Flag. Have only lost 1 map so far against other Pro League teams, and it was earlier on against this team. And actually, a flag has already gone in from the Xmen. So fantastic run there from Ramirez, using that sword to make sure he got across the map nice and quickly. And this seems to be a common theme on flag game types. Actually, Xmen have played the most flag across Pro League seasons. I'm not entirely surprised they are performing well.
Yeah, you can see from his face there, he was quite annoyed by that nade coming in. He didn't expect to run into it, but I'm starting to see a little bit of a common pattern here, Dan. Every time Ramirez gets a sword, he also grabs a flag as well and just sprints the living hell out of it, shoves it in the base. And as we mentioned, we are now 1-0 up in less than 1 minute of play. Snipe Drone's going to go up into the top window, just checking it out who's there, but unfortunately decides and opts to drop down below the base, and he gets lit up by Kimbo. Kimbo sees green, sees a fuel rod, and says, My friend, that is going to be mine. Takes down 1, 3 bullets left in the chamber. Anybody else want to challenge this? Feel free to bring it on.
It's like Kimbo has a magnet to that weapon. He just sniffs it out and attacks anyone that might have it. This is what Xmen need to do, though. Need to try and keep it out of his hands, just like you would try and keep the sniper out of Sniper's hands, because he's been doing some absolutely filthy things. He does need to wait for his teammates before he pushes, but his flag has actually been taken as Chalky has pulled out, but he's not quite gone down yet. He's just kind of turtled under his base, and we will hop on. I was going to move on across to him, but he's died as well. So let's see what Sniper can do.
Yeah, because of the caster there, Dan. He called it out, and he got lit up. 3 seconds, and of course that fuel rod will be dropping on the map, and there it is, live and kicking top mid. Let's see who is going to be grabbing that one. Snack Drone opting to not go and grab it initially. You can see someone on the radar below him, so he's just going to check around and check all his corners, make sure no one's advancing. He's going to opt to pick up the BR. He will throw a grenade in looking for a hit marker. Doesn't happen. Jumps up, helps his teammate out to take down Mose, turns around. Kimbo's there as well. He's going to be one shot. Doesn't land it the second time round. Kimbo is being rather sneaky and staying alive.
Yeah, the camo did come up, but was apparently burnt. Jimbo has got himself a sword, but he's getting challenged over at P2, and he's also died as well. So this is a little bit back and forth at the moment for Xmen. Like, they had some nice early control, but we've noticed that Fabi are more than happy to give up early map control to try and get those fjords, to try and get those swords. Kimbo does have the sword. He will start moving this flag now as 2 Xmen players go down. Actually fumbles that flag. That might be key here.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky there. Gets it a second time round. Now we're back off, slipping and sliding. Here we go, sword in hand. Of course, when you have the sword in hand, you move faster, guys. If you're wondering how these people have managed to just sprint and fly across the map, it's because they have the sword in the back pocket. Grenade's going to go into P2. Ramirez comes flying out, and he gets annihilated as he comes around that corner. Sword comes out from Kimbo. He's scoping in to see if he can tag anyone up at long distance, but you can just hear the ground pound is coming down. That's going to be Jimbo. An early swipe from Kimbo. Jimbo versus Kimbo. Kimbo gives him the perfect. Right to the dome, right to the face. He knew exactly where he was. Ramirez is there as well. This could be a second pull.
Yeah, he's going to pull that one as well. Ramirez needs to be careful. He's been caught alone a couple of times. I know then he was just waiting to defend his base, but he was stuck at P2 when Kimbo found him first time. But Kimbo will move this flag. He's got support from his teammates. Doesn't look like anyone is there to stop, so that'll be the second flag.
Wow.
Nice, quick flag capture, stealth capture as well. So just one more flag capture needed. Great grenade there as well onto Ramirez.
Throws a bowling ball and it lands in the lift, hits someone in the face, down he goes. What a pull though. It was great map movement. He knew exactly where they were over in the bubble, so he opted to grab it. Let's see if he uses the exact same route. No, he will not, because they're spawning P side, so he's just going to hang around. But look at that, he preempted. Very unlucky he didn't get the kill, but he was preempting where Jim was going to fly through up on the E line. But let's talk about his flag run down. He opted to go down below the base and then go towards his teammates. His teammates then run across top mid to stop anybody kind of challenging from car side. He run P. In we go with the flag, GG.
Nice kind of classic Halo 2 run. I love seeing that when teams are just controlling spawns perfectly. You'd expect it from Fabi with all the practice they have. 2 Foxy is just one of these players that's fantastic controlling spawns. He sits in these places to make sure that spawns are blocked, and then they can control them, and then he can tell his team where to run that flag. So this is what I've been expecting from Fabi. Fantastic so far. Xmen now need to answer back, and Jimbo has the sword, which is the perfect way to do so.
2-1 is the scoreline, as you mentioned, Dan. They really need to rally back and bring themselves back in this game. I'm seeing on the kill feed 2 players or Fabi going down. We're going to queue up a listing with blue team. It's going to be the Xmen to see exactly how they work this one around. Of course, Chalky has the fuel rod. He's advancing into red base. Let's jump into the listing and see exactly how they work this one out.
Chill, nice go, Jack.
I'm gonna go P2. Top now.
Just one bit already.
The car with the sword. P3, Harris. I got the car with the sword. The car with the sword. The car with the sword. I'm coming to. Watch under the P. Watch under the P.
Get into the flag, get into the flag. That's their car.
Let's get this.
Calm, now calm it. This is tough.
Let me run the ship. Stop.
Nice, Nate.
Overextended, another one, Mike.
Fuck him up, Mike. 2 shot.
Fucking rape this shit.
No, fucking kill, Mike. Let's go.
Let's top car.
Nice one. This is perfect, guys. Nice and calm calls. Now push out together. Push out.
Apologies there for the language. Obviously, these guys, a lot on the line there, and they are getting extremely hyped up. The second flag will go in. Super quick run. Triple kill came out. He then dropped it. Ramirez says, give it to me now. Picked up the sword. Absolutely beeline that. We're now all drawn up. 2 flags each. 6 minutes remaining, Dan.
Yeah, Fabi needs to be careful now because momentum is with Xmen. We did say that Fabi looked a little bit weak on these capture the flag game types, but Foxy's actually going to get caught out here at Bubble. I'd like to see Snipe Drone now push into the flag and allow the player that was behind him kind of support him from Bubble. Sword in the hand of Ramirez as well, so this could be another pull. He did get the kill on Kimbo, and Foxy goes down. That's 3 players down. This could be the flag cap. He allows Ramirez to get the flag as well with the sword, but Mose actually had camo, and Mose gets the double kill.
And then Kimbo comes in and mops up as well. That could be a return. One player's going to grab it. Kimbo steamboating as well. Mose with a god-tier play. What a stop. That was going to be a cap. That would have been game over. He came out of nowhere, picked up one of the biggest double kills we've seen so far. Incredible, incredible play from Mose.
Absolutely clutch, and I wouldn't expect anything less the way he's been performing. Snipe Drone will actually get the return on the flag and then pick up a kill on Mose just to finish off. A fantastic play from him as well. And now they can start to lock this Fabi lineup in the spawn trap. You can see all 4 members of the Xmen starting to kind of swarm around that base as the flag is going to start to move. We'll hop across to Ramirez. He's actually got the sword, but actually as I do that, he misses the swipe. He's swiping at everything and he gets shut down by Mose. The flag is still being moved by Chalky, but he gets taken down as well. Now Mose will try and stop this with the sword of his own.
Mose with another double. All about Mose at this moment in time in the last few minutes of the game. The flag is on the move. He's going to come up behind them. They're obviously spawning this side. He's going to jump through Eli and try and find them. Scopes around a little bit too late. He's getting caught on the wall. Jimmy's chasing him though with that AR. Moses is going to hang around bottom mid, left and right. Unfortunately, Jim shuts him down. The sword's going to be running away, but both flags now out of the base, Dan.
Yeah, we might see a little bit of a standoff. No, actually, no. One of them's going to get a return. So the flag is on the move. Snipe Drone might get taken down here, and we'll see if we can hop us. Chalky actually has the flag. He might be able to return this one at the same time. He's going to be able to deliver this one. They're going to put a second win on the board, tie this series up 2-2. Xmen are the real deal. They are in this series well and truly, Sims.
Xmen proving that objectively they are fantastic. Time and time again, strongholds and flag games, we've seen them excel. The slaying power is definitely in the hands of Fabi. We've seen that. I'm super interested to bring up the kill feed very shortly and show you guys at home how that one played out, and we'll see some of the big numbers that have been put up by certain players across the board. But wow, what a game.
And what a response from Snipe Drone. And I called him out. I said, look, Maps without a sniper, he's not doing too well. He actually went 20 and 10 with 13 assists. So really kind of pulling through for his team there. On the other side, Kimbo with 20 kills as well, doing absolute work. As I would expect on Truth, he's been performing fantastically across the board. We saw Ramirez with 2 flag captures and 2 flag grabs. He had the sword and he was just running so fast. We saw, I think, almost pretty much every flag cap actually from Xmen, they had the sword in hand at the same time.
We're on board with Snipe Drone's POV at the moment. I'm just having a look at some of the kill feeds on there. I'm seeing a 20 bomb out of Snipe Drone, a 20 bomb out of Kimbo. Ooh, I'm seeing 9 and 18, I do believe, down there from 2 Foxy. Not a cracking game from him. 19 though for Chalky and 16, 14 and 17 for Ramirez. But you know what? He was running them flags, and that's what it's all about. Again, Ramirez, that player, doesn't matter what it is, don't care about the dirty work, it's all about the W.
I do wonder if that 918 is because Foxy, he kind of was sussed out by his ex-teammates of Xmen. He was pushing Carbine a lot and getting caught out on his own at Bubble, so he struggled a little bit there, but Onset said it perfectly in analysis. I think it might be a 4-2 here because I think the capture the flag game types are weak from Fabi, but the rest of their game is too strong. Next game, however, we're going into a Plaza Slayer, and records would suggest Fabi are going to win this one. They're 4-0 across Pro League. Xmen just 1-1. But you know, records are there to be broken, Richard. We've already seen it happen once. Fabi will yet to lose a map, but Xmen have changed that.
Dropping the Richard name, we can confirm that it's definitely Sunday. Yeah, that sounds like my mother on a Sunday over the table. You can see down there in the ticker, thank you once again to the team in the back for bringing up these stats during and after the game. Fantastic information for all you people at home. As you can see there though, to Foxy, 9 and 18, not the best stat. Game 2, of course. This is map vetoes. We are in game number 5, excuse me. This is grand finals. We're moving into a Slayer. Truth is not a part of it because it's already been played. Fabi get the first ban, they take away Regret, moves to Xmen, Coliseum, back to Fab for Eden, and then Xmen finally in with the rig. That's going to be cancelled out, which leaves us with Plaza. As you mentioned, Dan, this is definitely a map what we think Fabi should win, and in my opinion, relatively easy. However, Xmen currently they have the X Factor. They're looking very, very strong.
Yeah, it was a difficult ban process for the Xmen actually, just because Fabi have looked so strong across Slayers, across the board, especially when they can veto their own thing. So the fact that it ended up with Plaza and they're 4-0, it could have ended up with just something like, I don't know, Eden, which they've got an undefeated record on as well. So the fact is, Xmen just had to try and go for something they were confident on, rather than what they think Fabi are weak on.
So, alright, away from the stats then. I just generally me and you talking willy-nilly, as you like to pull it.
Willy-nilly.
Willy-nilly. Kind of, any initial thoughts from you on this game type? And again, away from the stats, your own personal, outside looking in, how do Xmen win this? How do they take down Fabi and take the lead in this best of 7 series?
Honestly, I just think they need to keep Mose a little bit quiet. Mose has been getting too loud for my liking, performing exceptionally well. He's just been getting any weapon he can get his hands on that will do any serious damage. The power-up pickups have been a lot better from Fabi across the board. I think last game they had 7 kills with the power weapons. They have 3 power-up pickups. So these guys know what they're doing and they're getting their timings right. So shout out to Havoc, who is performing well as their coach.
All right, then, guys, let's move into map 5. You can see on the back screen there, Fabi taking on Xmen. It is currently all drawn up at 2 apiece. Who is going to take the lead and work their way closer to the 4-map win? What is needed to clutch it up in the series? Kimbo will be shut down by Chalky. Chalky gets some support from his teammate. Chalky now looking, sniper rifle in hand. The first OS is going to go into the hands of the player over on Fabi. Now, I like this, the rotation. They've got the OS to say, all right, boys, time to move away. 1 apiece. Very, very slow game. This will be guaranteed. Oh, Banks 2 shots off the floor, but you know what? He's going to push that player back away. Mose actually wants another piece. He's going to challenge that. 3 bullets wasted. No! Doesn't matter about the 4th one, though. That's going to be a quite easy no-scope for Mr. Chalky.
Yeah, Chalky needs to be careful here because a couple of his teammates have run away from him and he's going to get chased here by the rest of this Xmen squad. But unfortunately, they can't help him. Let's hop over to Respectful on Fab E. They've got a 3-kill lead. Respectful did actually get the first overshield. He's not got any of it left now, thanks to a plasma pistol, but he does have a storm rifle in hand, and I like this position for him. He's just going to be very patient. Fabi can be very dirty on this map. They know the angles to wait, they can be very sneaky, and they can really punish teams for just pushing out randomly.
Hitting that start button, Contra and Lethal are going to be very, very proud of Respectful there. Jimbo goes down inside the loop. We're going to see him. Perry's going to get called for support. 3 members of Fab getting 3 kills. You can see it in the kill feed there. Ramirez will take down 2 Foxy as well. And you know what? It's just, this is starting to escalate extremely fast. We said this would be a good game for them. They know how to play it. They know how to work. You will see them. They're going to come over here now because he knows that Chalky's coming up. Cracking nade though for Chalky. Picks up a double. He will get answered back and taken down. Then Kimbo answers back as well. A little bit back and forth, but credit where credit's due. Xmen is starting to bring this one back.
Yeah, they're going to stay in this game, especially when Jimbo is performing so well and he's getting some kills on the board. He's died 5 times now, Jimbo. So he's not having the best of times, but he has got some kills to put to boot as well. Let's see what Kimbo can do and whether he can get some control of the map here. As well, a 7-kill lead is kind of escalated here, and you've got to help but feel this could kind of snowball out of control if Xmen aren't careful.
Yeah, you saw Mose coming in with a double on the kill feed there with the storm rifle. Then, oh, this is a good fight, and what a cracking capture it is for Kimbo. He comes out victorious, then turns around, gives his challenger the bunt end of a gun to the back of the head. Unfortunately, does grenade his teammate, but that doesn't matter. Kimbo can start lighting up. 18-9 is the score. The Fab E train has left the station. We're going to queue up and listen in with Fab E. We'll be watching out for some bad language, guys, because we don't condone that on the stream. But you know what? It is ready. Let's jump on board with Fabi and see how they're going to clear this one up.
Sniper 20. Sniper 20. Sniper 20, guys.
I'm leaving blue. I'm leaving blue.
So shot in the back, boys. He's going to drop on me. One shot, right, Andy. Andy's absolute bottom. Nice.
I'll get a snipe.
Main ramp, Jimbo still. Jockey's one shot, Jockey's one shot, soda. I'm going to go into
Jockey's
one shot, soda.
Got an 8 on him. Sweet.
Stay alive. I'm going to get an angle for a blue, boys.
You got it.
Alright, nice. Watch the bush, guys. Wait, top me, Jockey. Jockey's top me, boys. Jockey's still going. I'm leading dip. He's on posters, Jimbo.
Posters with a green gun.
One shot blue card. Nice, Jimbo's still posters, he's running. Where's he going? Where's Jimbo going? Where's he going, boys? There's Jimbo's weak on our line. One shot. Jimbo's one shot. One more guy, soda. Two guys. One more, Rolly. He's absolute. He's on shot this. Andy. One shot, soda. Yeah, play like faggots. Rotate together.
Ovi's at 46.
Do it quick, show it. Go.
Ovi's 46, guys. Nice, bomb through ramp, I'm coming.
Nice, I've got full sniper as well. Give me to glass, give me to glass.
Remember, we need a flip for Ovi as well.
One guy was gold left.
46.
You see it, glass?
Gold yellow, tweak. Top yellow, look, weak. Light rifle, weak sniper. Watch out, light rifle. Watch out bottom left. Sniper.
46. Go flowers. He's weak on half circle, one shot chalky. Two guys. Snipers, I'm one shot parry. I'm absolute parry. I'm absolute here. 46. Two guys gonna be in yard. 46. Boys, they're pushing out a yard now.
Yeah, they're gonna push out.
He's on it.
One shot's not nice. He got it. He got it. Stop mid with it.
He's in dip, Jimbo weak.
Chasing me. Why need time? He's chasing me, boys.
Another one's driveway.
Waste his time here.
Where are they with it?
He's on
Blue chop.
Alright, stay alive.
I'm just gonna get a kill if I can.
Backyard weak chalky.
They're there. I'm spawned out.
He's one shot, boys. He's one shot.
He's still here, one shot. He's dead.
In yard with OV. Going light rifle with OV. Watch out, Brandon, he's on you with fucking OV.
He's weak. Nice,
He had a snipe.
I don't know.
I'm in blue.
Boys, I'm just gonna crouch blue. They're pushing out like.
They're going yard. I'm gonna follow him in.
I'm coming as well. Snipers, one shot.
Three guys in yard.
One shot. It's absolute main. Two guys there. Two guys.
Stay alive.
Two guys main. You're gonna get split. Stay alive, man.
Half circle weak, Rami. Half circle weak. One shot.
Two in yard.
Yeah, I'm gonna flank from driveway.
One shot, Chalky. Chalky's absolute in yard. Just crouch, literally.
Stay alive.
He's in nest. He's in
driveway. One guy, driveway. Soda now. Soda stairs.
Get up top, guys. He's weak, Jimbo. Please just play it slow, remember?
Bottom lift. He's gonna lift the nest.
He's on me, crouching. One shot.
Made it.
Come here.
I thought it was weak.
Stay alive, guys. Do nest.
Both weak.
I'm not seeing nest.
Jump on mid, Andy.
I'm looking bottom mid.
I'm storm rifle.
Mid's weak.
I'm in driveway.
Nice.
Nice, I'm coming.
Ovi's at 42
as well. Blue card.
Wait, no deaths, no stupid deaths.
Chalky's weak. Chalky's one shot, bottom dead. Chalky's one shot, bottom dead.
Ovi's at 42. You're gonna play for this sniper.
Two blue side. What's it? We can go. They're all low.
Ovi's at 42. Chalky's main ramp, just leave.
All right then, Dan, only 6 kills down at the moment. Still, Xmen, they're well within this, but Fabi have just always had that kind of constant lead on them.
They have, and the overshield, you heard the call, it's going to be up at 42, so all these players are going to start to make their way towards that top mid position, see if anyone can pick up. Jimbo actually has the plasma pistol in hand as well. I'm not sure if anyone has quite picked that up, but Kimbo has a sniper. Let's hop on across to him, see if he can do some work, and I'll kind of scout across and see if anyone picks up the overshield too.
Only 10 kills remaining and a 10-kill advantage lead. 5:30 remaining on the clock. Kimbo trying to pick anyone up in Cafe, tags one up. Be looking for that assist medal to come in. It comes in, of course, from 2Foxy. Mose grabs one as well. And then Kimbo grabs one. 3 in a row for Fabi. They now got a 13-kill lead.
Yeah, Mose managed to pick himself up an overshield. He then ran into yard. He picked up a player as well. And I think that Fabi are going to run away from this one. Ramirez is going to get caught on spawn once again. Mose is going to let word to his teammates to know, look, let's go and put him in. As we hear the screams from Fabi, they know they are close to this one, close to going 3-2 up in this series.
Yeah, this has really opened up. They've heated up. They've had the OS. They grabbed themselves the sniper rifle as well. One comes in, he does, but honestly, it doesn't really matter because look at how many bullets Kimbo has. He can seal the deal on his own. He's got plenty of time to do it. He doesn't go for that shot. He does poke out, try and get a cheeky no-scope. Ramirez gets cleared as well. Looking for any assist to come on that one. Respectful will take down Jimbo off the side. He's done this one before. Can he land a no-scope to finish it off? No, he cannot. But 3 members of Fabi are all there. They're very weak. They're easy to clean up. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will be game number 5 going to Fabi. They are now 1 game away from being crowned the EU HCS Pro League Summer Season Champions.
Yeah, you saw Mose there on camera just saying 1 map, guys. We are 1 map away from being champions, making up for everything. All those tears would have been worth it as they get to lift that trophy.
I don't know what were better, the fact that you kind of impersonated him by the hand. 1 map, boys. That's how he talks. It's always just 1 map gets the win. This is it. They are nearly there. They can do this. But you know what? We look at the kills for a second, and honestly, they were outslid. Look at Moses' stats, 16 and 10. 14 and 6 are respectful. That is a low amount of deaths, and honestly, he got more assists than kills.
Yeah, they were just their team shot was just on point there. They were just shooting everything and anything that got in their way. I can't wait to see the overall stats from this team after this event, because Mose has just been the man that has really shone through everything. On the other side, Ramirez, 7-12, not the easiest of games. You saw him getting caught on his own a couple of times. Sometimes, just as he spawned, Fabi were just turning around and saying, look, Ramirez has just spawned there. Don't let the rest of his team spawn. Let's just swarm in on him. Get a nice, easy kill. Fantastic Slayer there from these guys. But now we're going into map 6, Sims.
Looking forward to it. There's a lot. This is do or die now for the Xmen. Obviously, they want to push a Game 7 and potentially even reset this to another Game 7. Honestly, with how evenly matched these teams are, it's definitely possible, but right now, Fabi are looking head and shoulders above Xmen. They are looking strong. That was a dominating performance there for them. And we kind of said we did think it favoured them 110%. We'll bring you the map vetoes up now for game number 6 and show you how this layout is going to go down. So Plaza's already cancelled out. It's not a part of the veto. Then we came in with the strongholds on Empire. That is banned out by Xmen as they get the first pick. And then that goes straight across to Eden. And that one's taken out by Fab. Which actually brings us, which we've not really seen much action from this weekend, it's going to be strongholds on the rig, my friend.
Yeah, Empire being banned by Xmen because they did lose to it earlier against Fabi, but the rig is an interesting one. Xmen actually haven't won this game type across Pro League. They're 0-3. Fabi have only played it once, though. They're only 1-0, so perhaps Xmen were trying to maybe get Fabi out of their comfort zone, get them something they're not quite used to playing.
Okay. Any personal thoughts how we think this one's going to go down? Obviously, you've got to watch out for that camo, you know. The amount of times we're going to see both Kimbo and Mose just beelining for it every single time. Any further thoughts on you? How do Xmen win this?
Honestly, I think they just need to control that Whitehall. If you can control Whitehall, you control the map, and you've really just got to shut Mose and Respectful out of the game. They're going to be the players that are going to kind of be looking to control that. Maybe Foxy as well, and maybe even just kind of rotating as a team, really. That's what I want to see. I want to see them pushing for this tri-cap, really not allowing, just setting up around those two. So when they get Nest and when they get the basement, they might just be content with that. I don't want that to happen. I want to see them get in the faces of Fabi, not give them any room to breathe.
So kind of how we saw previous, they got really set up on Plaza, and they can really do it. They'll get them locked themselves into a good, not even 50% of the map, a good 75%, and just try and kind of hold 3 corners while they have one person roaming freely. On a map, you know, like the rig, you've got this central section that's just non-existent. So it's a square map revolving around where the camera spawns. Again, it's strongholds, it's not Slayer, so you are going to be moving around. But honestly, I can see them doing this again. Let's keep an eye on who does take control of Nest off the very start, because we've said it before, I'll say it again. Control the Nest, win the game. Absolutely vital, along with holding where the BR spawns. You control them too. You mentioned it perfectly, Dan. Hold that Whitehall. You are in for a big fat W at the end of it.
I have noticed that Fabi sometimes will sacrifice that Nest early on to try and get that camo and try and get that railgun as well. And by doing so, they then regain the map control. Moses just going to sit into BR base, make sure he gets that. Does look like Respectful will pick up camouflage, so he will jump across to him and see what work he can do with that one.
Yep, and we mentioned keeping the power-ups out of the hand of Fabi, and look and behold who's got it. Mr. Respectful himself. I'm seeing 3 members down now. They will drop. In fact, it's actually all 4 members of the Xmen have been taken down. And that, my friends, is triple cap. I have never seen a triple cap straight off of the bat. And that time is starting to rack up thick and fast, Dan.
Yeah, Respectful just doing absolute work. Unfortunately, does get shut down there. But that's exactly what I was saying. Fabi, they were happy to just kind of sacrifice the map control a little bit at the start because they got all those power weapons. Jimbo does ground pound him, but he gets shut down. Wow, that was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and then we also saw off-screen, that's going to be 2 Foxy getting a kill of his own, but Ramirez is picking up a double with a railgun. He's taking control of Tower 2. He's also going to thrust back because he is no shield. Respectful's caught off guard, but you know what? It doesn't matter. Just because he's got no shield doesn't mean he's out, as he picks up the clean one-shot. He also goes around the corner, hits another one-shot as well. That's 2 back-to-back answers. You know, people are getting assists. He's listened to his teammates time and time again. He knows where the one-shot is, and he'll happily clean it up and take a free kill.
And look who's in that Whitehall. It's Fabi, it's Kimbo, 37-0. What a start. Kimbo's going to push in, try and get this triple cap once again. Unfortunately, well, BR base is taken, but they will get some points back on the board as Nest is taken once again. Railgun is up in 20 seconds. I wouldn't be surprised if Fab E start to make their way over to that one as well.
It wouldn't surprise me that once they actually kind of take control of basement once again, that they push the triple cap. This is the kind of aggressive team it is. The team will be forced then in the form of Xmen over to the Nest area, which is what they're trying to do now. But again, they're getting shut down. Moses is on back rail. We got Chalky who's going to be locking down Whitehall. We said we need to keep control of this, but generally, there's not a lot from Whitehall you can do when you're down 2 plots and you're bleeding out points like this. We're already in 50 points, halfway to victory. Moses smiling on screen there. 2 kills for Fabi on the kill feed. He's going to slam a free camo into his chest. And honestly, now he can just kill them off spawn and possibly even push this triple.
Respectful has 8 kills right now. He's doing some real work for his team, but Mo's doing the dirty work. Make sure he get that camo. He's got the scatter shot in the back pocket as well. He's going to have some fun just roaming around. He will see these X-Men players spawning. Does actually catch Jimbo in the nest, but he'll be taken as well. Important reset if Mo's can get to it, but he does spot another member on his radar. Snipe Drone's going to get taken down. The reset will happen. Tri-cap in full effect. Basement is even being stopped by Kimbo as well, or just delayed. This is looking really ugly for the X-Men.
Not like this. .jpg instantly springs to mind. 1 point, a breadstick of stronghold points currently for X-Men. Kimbo doesn't want to get them any further. Takes down one, unfortunately doesn't grab that second play. He is no shield. That nade will come in. They're going to get a second point on the board, but you know what? This is pretty much game, set, and match at this rate. We're racking points up thick and fast. Wouldn't be surprised if they push the basement any second. They've got Moors on the outskirts with the hot flank. He's probably going to come back and help his teammate out, which he does. Kimbo calls for a little bit of support. He's got no shield. And every single time, there's no real stopping these guys at the moment, Dan. They're just a train, they're just a force. We're about to hit 80 points. This is incredible Halo from these guys. They want this win.
Such confidence coming out of Kimbo as well, just challenging things on no shield. I think we are going to be very close to crowning our EU champions here. Kimbo currently 10-3, does get shut down for 10-4. Let's hop across to Jimbo, see if X-Men can do anything to get back in this game. They do have 2 strongholds, so they are currently racking up a little bit of points, Sims, but I think they are really struggling to get back into this one.
Well, you know, the railgun's up in just a second. One player will go flying off the map. Respectal's going to pick up a double kill as well in the kill feed. That's 2 Foxy coming down. He's going one-on-one with Jimbo. Jimbo does manage to get it, and now we've got a triple cap. Now this is interesting. Now they need to keep this. This is the lifeline. This is their tournament exhibition on the line right here. He does get that kill. That's a big one. It's going to mean that they can keep it. However, he does go down. Let's look who grabs and bags that camo. Kimbo off the spawn. No one's stopping. No one's checking where they're spawning. The nest is about to be taken, though. This will be a huge clutch kill if they get it, which they do not. Little bit too late, so points will still rack up for the X-Men.
Yeah, Respectful managed to find a camo as well. It was up for about 20 seconds before it got caught, but the Fabi players just all swarming in there. They are like absolute piranhas. When they say, look, we want to take one of these strongholds, you see them all just swamp into it as they get another triple cap. Jimbo's going to get shut down. Snipe Drone's even getting fought as well. Respectful just dancing around this BR base, delaying this game by as much as possible.
You completely took the words out of my mouth. Triple cap in full effect. All he was doing was delaying the inevitable. The clock is ticking down, guys. This is it. Brandon, Moors, Kimbo. Of course, they will be crowned the EU HCS Pro League Summer Season Champions. Congratulations to them. Respectful and Moors. They've got the event win in the bag.
What a way to do it as well. Only dropping 2 maps across the whole day. Only 6 maps actually across the whole of the Pro League. My MVP has to be Mo's. Absolutely incredible performance from him, but just all round, each player's really earned their right as the champions.
So credit where credit's due. These guys have gone through the European Pro League. They have not dropped a single series. That, my friends, is how you stamp your name on European Halo Esports. This is what they wanted. They made a team change halfway through the season. They kicked out Snakey. They brought in 2 Foxy. They said, we are the team to win this. This is the team, and this is how we do it. You know what, honestly, when you look at the players in the European Halo scene, Dan, I just currently cannot put together a roster which would be able to take these guys down. You know, I can see them being just as dominant in the fall season. This is what they came out to do. This is the end target. Honestly, congratulations to them.
The winners of the European Halo Pro League, FabE.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The HCS European Pro League finalists, the champions, FabE! Hello again, and let's put this to bed. Now, who can win on LAN?
Well, we're just online kids at the end of the day, aren't we? So, I don't know. I mean, it feels good not dropping a series online or on LAN. I mean, it clearly transitions. It's not a completely different ball game. We're just really happy.
And so you should be. A huge win, a really decisive win. Just that undefeated thing, just slipping at the end, which we know doesn't matter a lot. But was there a time at all in that last series? Look at him waving it around like he's pointing it to shoot at someone. Was there a time maybe after that first map? Did you think, oh hello, hang on a minute, this may not be quite so straightforward?
No, not really. I mean, Xmen are really talented players, are really good, and their best game type is capture the flag, and that's probably our worst. So there was kind of scraping out 3-2 wins both games, and was like kind of just brushing it off, like yeah, that's like their best game type, blah blah blah. Let's push it under the rug. And like as you can see, what happened in the Slayers and the Strongholds, it's a completely different story. So we're just really happy.
So there was never a doubt in your mind that we're going to go to another best of 7, that Xmen had remembered how to do this thing?
Oh no, definitely not at all. No.
Any words for your opponents? Any words for the Xmen in that?
Yeah, just really great guys. Really enjoyed playing the series. Same against Vibe as well. Would have liked playing Infuse as well, but it's just really fun all around. Really happy to be here. So yeah, it's just great.
I think that's something that's really come across, I hope, here from ESL Studio One. How warm all of you guys have been to all of the teams and the other teams who are still here in the studio as well. It's been fantastic action. Thanks to all the players and everybody who's come to ESL Studio One and everything you've given us today. So what's next for you guys? I know you were saying earlier on how much work you've put in to win this. Obviously, we will see you, Infused, Vibe, Xmen, along with Pulse and Dinosaurs, who came through the relegation day yesterday. We're going to see all of you in the next season of the HCS Pro League. What are you going to do between now and then?
Well, what's next? I think every team's going to have a little small break. I mean, we've all been like working our heads off, just crazy. So we're just going to relax for a little while and then straight back on it again for Season 2. Really happy that we get this opportunity, so we're just going to take the most of it again.
There you go. Any words from anyone else? How are you all feeling about this?
Oh, I'm feeling good, yeah.
So you should be, and I've got to ask you. You know, this has had to put a few things to bed. Right, you must be thrilled with this.
Yeah, I think we're really happy. We finally did it. Me and Brandon, we've been playing for ages. Event winners, finally.
Yeah, we knew it could happen. You never doubted it could happen.
No, I think it could have happened. We practiced so much, so we knew it since the start this was going to happen. We knew it.
Good for you, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, FabE are the HCS European Pro League champions. Congratulations again to you. It's been a fantastic day of action here, bringing the first season to an end. We'll go back up to on-set Wonderboy and Bryce to talk about this incredible final.
All right, thank you very much. Of course, congratulations from ourselves on the desk to FabE for winning the EU HCS Pro League Summer Finals. What an achievement and what a way to do it as well. But I feel like we need to touch on that game just a little bit before we wrap this whole thing up. Guys, what did you take away from it? And I'm a little bit sad it wasn't flawless.
I need you to big me up right here. Big me up. Come on.
I need to big me up.
Height-wise or big me up?
Do you know what? We
Just
were
big me
watching
up.
this series, and the smile that was coming across his face, not because he could see that Fabi winning, he was really happy for them, but because his predictions were pretty much spot on.
Yeah.
I mean,
when you're Harry, any little victory means an awful lot.
Yeah. Little
Fabi
victory
only dropped
for a
the
little
flag
man.
games.
Yeah.
He predicted it.
I called it. I said Xmen, if they're going to take games in this series, it's going to be on the flag game types. Guess what happened? They took game number 1, to capture the flag game type. I'm pretty sure they took game number 4 as well, which was another flag game type. So who knew? Wonderboy knew.
You knew.
Hashtag Wonderboy knew, baby. I actually got something right for once. Can you believe it?
But I've got to give a shout out to those two guys down there, and of course to Foxy
and me.
And no, not you. And Kimbo. Incredible performance for all of the players, and we have to highlight something in that series that we saw that we think to Foxy just added so much, and a perfect example of what he added to the team. I think it was the Strongholds game.
Yeah, it was game 5.
And the amount of times that Foxy would just make a call as a captain, would go, right, we're going blue, go.
It was actually it was the Slayer game actually.
Oh, it was the Slayer game. Sorry, apologies.
Was,
And they all just immediately, without questioning it, just all went. He was directing traffic for them. That is what they needed, and Foxy brought that to the team.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, we're not going to go by map, and we're not going to do that this time. What I want you to do is kind of pick up your favourite parts from all of the maps, and it goes down. And I know one of them probably going to be that flag stop, right? 2-2, the flag stop. I don't know how it happened, but it did. Take me through it.
It was the biggest play of the weekend, I would say, potentially.
Yeah.
It's a shame it didn't turn it into a map win for them.
Yeah.
But Mo's being last player aligned against a player running the flag with the sword, so he was like double the speed pretty much. Managed to get that double kill. Unbelievable play from Mo's, and it was just something that's sort of he produced all weekend long. You know, he has played out of his skin this event. He has shown that he is no longer that online kid. He is a top tier player.
Yeah, and speaking of online kids, everyone thought Fabi were just online kids. I'm so happy in this final. They lost game number 1. I'm so happy they kept their heads. You know, it was a neck and neck series, and then they just pulled away. It was 2-2 at one point, and then it just came back and it was 4-2. Fabi take the victory.
Well, speaking of favourite moments, obviously we're going to be playing the replays from all of that. And to be fair, that final, it certainly was a lot of skill on display. Both teams really pulling out the stops and showing just how good they actually are at Halo.
Yeah, really strong individual performances from both teams, honestly, throughout the entire series. Game number 2 especially, Mo's 15-7, Rami on the other hand, 5-12. How many times do we talk about Ramirez Mark? Him not stepping up to the plate when it matters, especially in the Slayer games.
Yeah, it's very true, and you know, questions are going to be asked of him until we can put that right. We have seen some big performances in the past in finals, but it has been quite a long time since we have seen them. I'm sorry to call him out on it, but it is just the facts. As we see here, this Truth game was absolutely insane.
Was
this
great,
Truth game,
yeah.
I mean, what a map for an advert for Halo Esports. Absolutely insane plays. That play from Mo's.
Just watching
I
this,
hope
man.
that we get to see it again, but when Mo's has the sword, it just he makes things happen.
Just watching this man with the sword, it's just, I could literally just watch an entire game of just Mo's playing sword. I mean, it's just great. And the amount of time, again, we saw Fabi controlling the power weapons. I mean, they're just so good at it. They just do it unrelenting. No matter what map it is, they're always key. And we were talking about it in the green room, Mark. At what point do you start considering storm rifles power weapons against Fab E? I mean, you have to just keep them out of the hands of Kimbo, Respectful, and Mo's. Otherwise, you're just going to have a bad time. I mean, most of these replays are going to be definitely storm rifle kills from Respectful and Mo's.
Yeah, as you say, perfect example there. We saw two Respectful on this Plaza game type, just pushing into that loop with that storm rifle, put kind of every single angle. These guys know every single weapon location and where they can make it most effective on the map. And they are just proper, full, well-rounded Halo 5 players. This flag game, though.
I actually want to give a massive shout out
we
to
were
Snipe
jumping
Drone.
out.
This man right here, Snipe Drone, his replay just then. I mean, he actually really went off this game. This is a pretty flawless game. I mean, the amount of times I saw him get perfect kills in this game in the kill feed, we didn't see much gameplay out of him, but he actually went 20 and 10, and he kept getting perfect kills in the kill feed. So a really stellar performance in that game from Snipe Drone. Another standout performance from throughout the series. And again, an entire series that was pretty much defined by individual performances across the board.
Yeah, incredible stuff. And moving forward, we have to look at this. Oh my God, here's the play. Here is the play.
Like,
Mo's.
Game changing.
That was disgusting.
Game changing and game saving.
Exactly. But I mean, we still see incredible individual plays. You see Xmen, they were no pushover as a team. They are incredible players. But we've now got to look, in my opinion, we've got to look at Fabi moving forward. We know we've got to look at them on a worldwide level. They have shown they are now dominating the EU scene. We have to look forward to Halo WC the next time round, and how can they perform? Can they excel and outplace the Epsilon lineup that were the first world?
I think the first key towards doing that, fixing their capture the flag performances. We highlighted it before the series. It held true. The 2 games they dropped to any Pro League team here at finals was capture the flag game types. That's it. I mean, if they fix their capture the flag game types, then they're flawless. They essentially wouldn't have dropped a map if they were, could fix their capture the flag performances. I'm not entirely sure what the problem is there. Obviously, they're going to have to go a step away, work on it, but you can't be too disappointed in it. And look at the celebrations here. This was before the game was even over, I'm pretty sure. They just put their pads down. They already knew it was over. And look at what it means to the boys. Right?
And look at the current, the bloke who's done it before. Look at him, he's like, gotta get up, gotta get out of my chair, go pick another trophy up, fall over a little bit. But Too Foxy, he's been there before.
Gotta pretend I'm not really excited.
All right, well, what we've done this entire tournament is we've talked about MVPs. We've talked about individual game MVPs, individual map MVPs, individual team MVPs. What we haven't really spoken about yet is a tournament MVP. Now, it is going to be a hard choice, a lot of kind of options up for grabs, but who leaps out to you? Who do you think?
I'm going to let you go first on this one, because I think I might have a slightly different answer.
For me, it's between 2 players.
Okay.
And that is, you might say predictably, either Respectful or Mose. The reason that I'm going to choose the player that I am, which is actually going to be Mose for me, is the amount of big game-changing plays that man made during this day. He literally single-handedly at times, I go back and I think about the triple kill against Xmen in the Truth Slayer game that basically turned the game. Look at that double kill he just got there. He was just pulling off some insane stuff this weekend. So Mose, congratulations, and a first event win for him.
Are you disagreeing?
Yes. It was actually neither of those players you mentioned. I think Mose and Brandon, actually, Respectful, put up the great stats, but I think what you don't see on the stat board is the man Too Foxy's calls.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about it in the green room during the listening. How he focuses his team. There were a lot of question marks for Fabi. Did they make the right choice, swapping Snakey out for Too Foxy? I think he proved all the doubters, me especially, wrong. Too Foxy's been in my top 5 players for a long time. I didn't know he had the capability in him to drive a squad, direct his squad. That's exactly what he did, especially on that Plaza game when we had that listening. The amount of times, he was calling for his team. He was saying, you know what, let's go now, go, go, go. And they were listening to him. I absolutely love that. That's what the scoreboard doesn't say. You don't see that in the kill feed. And for me, I think MVP is Too Foxy.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. Both different takes on it here. I mean, to be honest with you, leaning more towards Onset's kind of point of view.
That's
but
fine. It's okay.
Oh, that's fine.
I think either the
you don't
choices.
Sorry about that at all.
You can't disagree with either the choices.
About that.
I can understand, right? I mean, statistics. A lot of people care about statistics. I know me throughout the regular season. I love statistics. I base everything off the numbers in the game, and a lot of people, don't like me for that. But I will say, from what I've seen here, from what I've heard from the communication, I think Too Foxy for me has been the most important player for Fabi, and obviously they have won the tournament. But I can understand why people would think Respectful and Mose, certainly the 2 best players in Europe at the moment for me. But I just think Too Foxy absolutely invaluable for his squad.
Okay, I don't think there's anything wrong with your justification there. I think it's definitely great when you shout out a player who's maybe doing something that's more critical rather than just getting those numbers up. We've even spoken in this tournament about players who may have just been baiting their teammates out for a few more kills than usual. So I think
that's me. I would do that all day long. I mean, if anyone's seen my stream,
Onset has been complaining about it. To be fair.
Oh really?
I haven't complained about anything. That's you.
Privately,
you like to complain about everything, Bryce.
No,
you're getting yourself mixed up.
I am a ray of sunshine.
He's trying to stir some stuff right here.
He is, isn't he?
It's right.
I'm just telling the truth.
It's fine.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get the rest of the talent here and everybody at home to kind of join in with this, because you two are clearly never going to agree on who this is going to be. So I think everybody, the talent team's going to weigh in.
That's because Mark is stupid.
And we'll get the people at home going to chime in. Who do you think was MVP of the entire tournament? Let us know. Let us kind of figure it out while these two have a little fight in the corner as well. But this has been a great tournament. Of course, Fabi, your champions for the summer finals. But for the fall season in the HCS, 6 teams. We're going to be joined by Dinosaurs and Pulse, as well as Fabi, Infused, Vibe, and the Xmen are all going to be battling out once again to get right back to this point. It's a long time coming, but I'm looking forward to it just the same. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everybody who turned up today and kind of spectated in the venue. Everybody working behind the scenes. It's a hard job. You don't always get the show like we do. Production, our our runners, every admin actually here on the stage as well. Just incredible job. I've thoroughly enjoyed this event. Of course, my colleagues in the talent team, they have been rocking this event and carrying me for the majority of it as well.
Okay. We did okay, I guess.
And of course, I'd like to thank all of you watching. You really do make this very much worthwhile. And it's coming up soon. We will see you again. But that is all for now.